What's my superpower? I remember being 18 years old and going to a social work office with my mother on Flatbush in Brooklyn, New York. And this wasn't like any other appointment that she had. This appointment was going to change our life. Now, I knew that we were on welfare. I knew that we were beyond or below the poverty level, but for some reason, this appointment felt like a game changer for me. And while I was excited, I was also nervous because I knew that these people, these case managers, would really dictate and control our income, our ability to eat and live. But at the end of the day, I had to be ready. And so at 18 years old, I went into the case manager's office with my mother, and she passed on her case manager to me. I was now about to receive my own food stamps, my own cash that I could do what I wanted to do with. And while I was excited, I also knew that this was just the beginning. I had to figure out how to do something else with my life. And sure enough, not too long afterwards, I was called in for my own case management meeting, and I had my daughter on my arm. She was 2 years old, and the case manager looked at me and said, "Well, why is she with you?" I said, "What do you mean, why is she with me?" "She's not on your case, so why do you have her with you?" And I looked at her and I said, "Because she's my daughter." And she said, "Well, if she's not on your case and she's your child, then we have to come to your house. We have to see your living conditions, who lives in the house with you, and whether or not she can remain in the house with you." And in that moment, my whole life flashed before my eyes. And I said, there's absolutely no way this woman, this system is going to dictate what I do, how I live, and how I raise my child. She told me that I needed to go to the office downstairs to collect a token and that they would make an appointment to come and see me. I looked at her and said, "You don't have to worry about me." I walked away with fire in my eyes and my child by my side and vowed to never come back. At this time, I was 20 years old. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, but I knew that I was going to make something of it. And as I was walking out, something bigger hit me, a weight that I couldn't really comprehend. And I asked myself, how are other people dealing with this? And it was in that moment that I had a glimpse of my superpower, to take an adverse condition and transform it into something great. Without knowing, without seeing, but I had hope, I had belief. It was something beyond what I could see at that moment. And I walked out of that office. I did not go get that token. I walked home and I never came back.